Granger, you want to come on up here? Frank Rogers, come on up too. Frank Rogers, everybody. Producer, co-writer. This is Frank Rogers' 39th #1 song, in case you're counting. Hey, so I was reading a little bit about Granger and trying to get an idea of what kind of guy he is, and I've seen his videos, his Earl Nibble Jr. Hey, all right, got? Can we get more of those out there? Hey, I need work. Anyway, his website, he was talking about his journey and where he came from and what music has meant to him, and his life in Texas and everything. And at the end of the bio there, these were his words that he had written, and I thought that I would repeat them here today for you guys because I think it gives a little insight as the guy, the man, Granger Smith. He says, a few years ago, I was standing with my boots in red, sandy, Iraqi soil, watching a beautiful, majestic Middle Eastern sunset, when one of my band members asked me, "Can you believe music got us here?" No, I can't. What a journey it has been since I decided to chase this crazy dream. We played 10 countries, 3 continents, even the White House a few times, and I still can't believe it all started with a few guitar chords. In my song called Sleeping on the Interstate, I wrote, connecting map dots like poets and prisoners, trying to live more like a lover than a sinner, slave to dreams so far away. That's Granger Smith. He went on to say, if there's one thing I've learned from the music business, it's that you don't really choose this life, you are this life. That's the truth, no matter if you're selling albums or not. I do what I love and love what I do, and there's no sweeter freedom than that. Granger, there's nothing sweeter for us to be in mind here today than present you with your first #1 award. Congratulations. We got cups back here for you. These are yours. Granger Smith, artist of Backroad Song. Granger Smith, writer. And we've also got Frank Rogers back here. I think this is you, Frank. Producer. Congratulations. John Loba, if you want to come up, I've got one for you as well. Here we go. John Loba. Wheelhouse Records. Congratulations. Ben Vaughn, Warner Tamerlane Music. Come on up here, Ben Vaughn. Changing Windmill Music. That's you as well. All right, guys. Well, we're thrilled to have everybody here today. Thank you all for coming out. And right now, I'm going to introduce Ron Cox with Avenue Bank. He's our partner in these #1 parties. So Ron Cox, Avenue Bank. Let's hear for Ron.
Hi. Thank you, David. Thank you, everyone. It is indeed a privilege to be here. I can tell you with great sincerity that Avenue Bank is so passionate and very proud to serve our music community. It's always an honor for us to take part in these #1 celebrations, and we want to take part today, as we always do, by showing honor to the writers and celebrating their #1 success by making a contribution to one of their favorite charities. I'm proud today to say that today's contribution is going to a wonderful organization called Boot Campaign. Boot Campaign was organized not only to foster patriotism, but to bring about awareness and assistance for our military men and women who have many needs, including their physical needs, their emotional needs, but also financial support as well. So Granger and Frank, we're very honored to support that organization in both of your names today. And, I know that first #1 is always extra special, but whether it's the first one or the 39th one, I know they're all special. So on behalf of myself and all of your friends at Avenue Bank, congratulations to you.
All right. Ben Vaughn from Warner Chapel. presentation.
Thanks, David. You know, you can tell just by the crowd here how special a day this is. It's a music row party and nobody's talking, right? So there's a lot of love in this room. There's a lot of yee hats I see. So, Granger, you got a lot of friends, bud. Proud to be one of them. And I got to say that being up here is for me a real full circle moment. It's a personal full circle moment because my former life, in my publishing, I had the pleasure of working with a new artist in town, and his name was Granger Smith. He had big dreams, big plans. I remember those days really fondly. Granger would write, and he would perform. And I was struck back then by his work ethic, and how he was the guy that was so relatable that literally everyone liked. But we all know that sometimes the mean streets of Music Row can be a little not so kind to young dreamers. So what did Granger do? Well, how did Granger respond to that challenge? He took his music to the people. He brought in to build his business someone that he could trust, like a brother. It just happened to be his brother, Tyler. Let's give it up for Tyler. Come on, man. Tyler, if you don't know Tyler, he's a big reason that we all get to have this party today, and he's one of the upcoming lights in the music business, so you need to get to know that guy. But Tyler and Granger tried things on the road with real fans. The fans bought his music, the fans bought his merch, the fans bought into the Granger Smith experience, and that became known what is today's Yee Nation. And a van turned into a bus, and a bus joined a semi, hauling the pieces of Yee Nation up and down the roads of the country. Like David said, they got to go to the White House 3 times. They were joined eventually by this country gentleman named Earl Dibbles Jr. Earl started a life of his own on some damn funny videos on the internet. And while we were doing what we do on Music Row, Granger, Earl, and Tyler were out there making their way. But if you really had your ear to the ground here on Music Row, you could hear the rumblings of something coming down the track. Now entering into the story is some really important people, and that's Benny Brown and the team he has built at Broken Bow Records. We all know how special BBR is to the country community, and it's worth being mentioned again here in this public forum. Broken Bow Records is a US-based independent record label that has 4 imprints putting out artist music and songwriter songs into the format each day, and they kick butt and they take names while they do it. So on behalf of the publishing and songwriting community, let's take a second to give some recognition to the team at Broken Bow Records. It's great that there are people on Benny's team like John Loba, and they have their ear to the ground, and they heard the noise that Granger was building with fans all over. They smartly heard the music that Granger and Frank were making and decided to add their own brand of rocket fuel to Granger and Frank's Backroad Song, making Granger the first artist on their 4th imprint, Wheelhouse Records. Carson James, Teddy Bonadies, and their teams made it so that today we get to have some free drinks and some food at the house of Jody Williams. So thank you guys. Granger, buddy, that's quite a country music story and a half, my friend. It's a real honor to get to present you your first publishing plaque for your #1 song, Backroad Song. Granger Smith.
All right, Lon Helton, next up. Lon Helton, Country Air Check. Give it up for Lon.
Good to see you, Granger. Just saw him in Pittsburgh at the WDSY 8-Man Jam a couple of weeks ago. So he was out there working hard, and it's always great to see, I think, of course, when somebody has their first #1, but also they're still out there thanking radio, appreciating what radio did, and this was a big monster hit on country radio. We have a plaque here. Granger shows that on the week of February 16, 2016, the most heard song in the USA was Backroad Song. the song and the singer that propels a great song. It's always good to have a great crew in the wheelhouse. So Teddy Bonnies, we have a plaque for you. And the whole team, we've got plaques for you together. Jennifer Speaker Force from Nashville. Plaque. And also we've got flags for Brittany, Kimmy, Nicole, and Bill. Thank you guys. It's always, I don't think everybody realizes how amazingly tough it is to take a new singer and that first single on the country radio. These guys did just a stellar job getting this to #1. Teddy, congrats to you and your team.
Thanks, Lon. Great job. Holly Freeman, CRB. Give it up for Holly.
It's always such a pleasure to represent country radio as we celebrate the radio performance of #1 hits, and so we're especially grateful to BMI for having us today. We know it's a very special thing to have a #1 song. A lot of things have to come together just right. You have to have that magic in that songwriter's room. You have to have an artist that connects with their fans, not only through country radio, but on the stage. And then you have to have a promotions team that is willing to work their ass off. And so we're so proud of our friends at BBR Music Group, just as much as we are of Granger and Frank. You are such a wonderful addition to our format. We know that this is just the beginning of a wonderful career, wonderful things coming for you and from you. So we have a plaque for you as well. I am happy to share that as about an hour ago, Backroad Song is earned 156,930 total spins, reaching an audience of 1.09, are you ready for this? Billion people through country radio. Definitely something to be proud of. So on behalf of the CRB Board of Directors and country radio all over the country, we celebrate you guys today. Congratulations.
That'll get you some BMI bucks right there, buddy. John Loeb, everybody.
Granger said, just don't mess this up for me. Usually I'll just speak from the cuff at #1 parties, but whenever I talk about Granger, honestly, I get super emotional, so I have it written down so I don't forget anything. All #1s, as we know, are a big deal, but some are, in fact, sweeter than others. And Backroad Song with Granger Smith, written by he and Frank, truly is one of those. It's absolutely sweeter than most. This #1 was a little bit sweeter because Granger's signing really drew upon the entire BBR Music Group, and the entire process was so easy and natural. The minute Greg Oswald called me up and said, check out this kid Granger Smith and Earl Dibbles Jr., I walked into an artist development meeting knowing nothing and brought up to our staff those two names. No one over 25 had any idea who he was. Everyone under 25 said, we love him, oh yeah, we know all about him. So their enthusiasm inspired me to go dig deeper. And that Sunday afternoon, after that meeting, I spent an entire day watching EETV, and I was in hook, line, and sinker. I was so excited about it, I started grabbing all of these different episodes I thought would speak to who Granger and his music was, and I sent them to Benny rather late in the day, honestly, on Sunday, and said, hey, when you get a chance, take a look at these, and I'm going to tell you about them in the morning. And thinking he wouldn't have time, sure enough, Benny stays up till 2 o'clock at night listening to music. So he had watched all those videos. I was ready in the morning to present my case and tell him why we needed Granger. And I started to open my mouth, and he wouldn't let me get 2 or 3 words out. He says, you don't have to sell me. I'm in. He's one of us. Let's go get him. It was just so easy and magical. It was the fastest Benny's ever said that. This #1 is a little bit sweeter because of what Granger and Amber Smith, Tyler Smith, their brother, Braden with William Morris, Chris Lee, tour manager, Nicole in publicity, Meg and Angela, Frank, and the whole team built before we were ever involved. I always say if we want a career more than the artist, And if we have to work harder than the artist, it will never work. And Granger and his team want it just as badly as us, and they will work as hard, if not harder than us. And it just inspires us to want more and work harder. This number one is a little bit sweeter because of the people Granger has surrounded himself with. They not only work hard, but are genuinely good people from the top down. It's a joy working with all of them, and that's not just my feeling. It's within our company, it's with all of our partners out there, many that are in this room. When someone is that excited and passionate and forward-thinking and treats everybody that they come in contact with as they are part of the organization, no matter where they're at, it just makes everyone want to go that much harder. And Granger's done that from the top down. This has been a little bit sweeter because of how strongly country radio has embraced Granger from the very start. We had a music summit weekend at the Biltmore Estate in Asheville, North Carolina, and had several artists performing on that weekend. We didn't ask Granger to perform, though. It was rather last minute, but because of all the content he built and because of how eloquently he speaks from the heart, we thought, you know what, let's show them some of the footage that we have on Granger that he's built and then let him speak. And Granger absolutely came out of that iHeart Summit with fans from a major radio chain, and that grew into an iHeart On the Verge for him. CBS also named him to their launch program, which is their new program, and Cumulus Media, who at the time wasn't moving that quickly, moved quicker than usual. So it was sweeter because of all that support. This number one is a little bit sweeter because it was the first single on our brand new Wheelhouse label. I want to give a big shout out to Senior Vice President of Promotion Carson James, VP of Promotion Teddy Bonadies, National Director Jennifer Schaefer, Northeast Regional Brittany Pittman, Southeast Regional Kimmy Trousdale, Promotion Coordinator Nicole Nearboss, and Bill Snickards. It's even sweeter because Brittany, Kimmy, Nicole, and Bill had their first number one with this record. Think about that. A ton of rookies. Speaks to the leadership. I'm almost done, don't worry. This number one was a bit sweeter because of the actual battle for number one. We're going up against one of the best promotion teams in the business, and against one of the format's most beloved superstars. I mean, so much so we love this other act so much we almost felt guilty doing it, but that's our job, and we wanted it for Granger. So the fight went down to the wire, literally. Everybody was on the phones and on email and on text until 1:45 a.m. Central Time. The chart closed at 2. So speaks to the power of their relationships, Granger's included, that our partners in radio were taking our phone call at 1:30 in the morning on a Sunday morning to help us out and put spins in. And it was close, but that was the difference. I also want to thank the other imprints at BBR Music Group, because this was not only a Wheelhouse victory. In that week, we called on everyone within the company, everyone on the promotion staffs, and they all jumped in and they all contributed. So this was a company victory as well, and again, speaks to what Granger inspires and the attachment that he has even with our other promotion teams. At this time, I'd like to call up the rest of the promotion team that is not up here right now. Please come up here. Kimmy, Nicole, Miss Brittany, and Bill Snickers as well. We can give them their plaques. I also would like to call up, I don't know if Rod Phillips is here from iHeart, John Shelby from Cumulus Media, Justin Cole from Premier Networks. We're here somewhere. I know Justin. There we go. Thank you so much.